the DK Shaman job, because I mean they just kind of global the mage without him ice blocking on
Yeah, both games actually he did.
yeah, both games. I mean I think the one on Ruins was kind of like, he should have blocked, but the other one, I mean, he got bursted down from like 300k health to 0 instantly.
Yeah.
Like,
It was literally 300k. Like,
yeah.
There was no gap between 300,000 and dead. Like it was.
Yeah, it was just instant.
That just happens sometimes. I mean, like it happens to everyone. Like every top mage does die without blocking. It just happens. But anyway, we are going to be moving on into the next game, which should be a very exciting one. I think it's actually going to be Trile's team going up against the Shatter. Wait, is it? Wait. Okay, so it is actually the Shatter play is playing again. We're just going straight into that. So we're going into the second round of the losers bracket. So 1-2-3 Stormbolt is going to be going up against the Bluksta WLS team.
Okay.
So that is I think they're like PvPrating.com or something is their team name. I can't remember. But anyway, it is Bluksta, Hexer, and Trile going to be going up against Banana Split, Healing Stat, and Shake Milk, who did just win their series right there. And this should be an interesting one. I definitely think that WLS is a pretty strong comp. You know, Chile, from all accounts, he's told me that it's very, very good right now, he thinks. I definitely think they have a good chance to win this. But at the same time, how do you feel about the Pally versus the Druid for this comp? Like, do you think that it's actually better against WLS with the Pally? It could be kind of like...
I think it can go both ways. I think Pally is like better in the sense that you have bops, you have freedom and stuff for the warrior. It's a lot it's really good to counter warrior. But if you're like a druid with a god comp, you have a lot of good potential for a lot of CC with Cyclone. But I also feel like WLS is an extremely powerful comp against wizards. Like maybe not so much against LSD. It can have everything has a difficult time against LSD, but I feel like against every other kind of wizard, WLS has a really, really nice shot at winning, just because of the way that the comp works. I mean, like, you have a Warlock that's able to fear. This team has no Tremor Totem. It's like it's not a lot of offensive pressure with a full fear on the Paladin, and Warrior's just like a really, really good consistent damage. So I feel like they're going to do well against this team. I think the God comp has to do something to counteract that, because I think WLS has a pretty good shot at winning this.
Yeah, so do I. But at the same time, we've seen the amount of burst that this team can put
out.
Yeah,
godcomp does tons.
Like, any team, I feel like any team that can put out that much burst has a chance to win against any comp, because, you can just get caught and just die instantly. Maybe a little mistake, or just even sometimes without mistakes, it can just be an insane amount of damage comes out and you just kind of flop. But, okay, they changed who's the party leader. So
I know a lot of god comps in the US, when they're running this, they often prefer to go on the warrior, and then maybe switch to the shaman later. I feel like because the warrior is going to be the one pushing out, extending, it's going to be the easiest one to set up on. And I feel like a lot of god comps prefer to just kind of blow all their bursts on them every time and just kind of try to go through his cooldown slowly, and just because every time they're using their stuff, they're going to get him low for sure. I mean, god comp has so much burst with shadow priests are insane.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I mean, the thing is, it's like you can kind of pull the warrior into bad spots, and the other thing about that is that, like, you pull him behind the pillar, right, and that forces him into a bad spot if he wants to continue doing damage. And not only does it do that, but it puts, like you said, it puts the shaman into the middle of the map. So not only is it easier to swap to the shaman, but it's also easier to CC him. And if you can get like a sheep on the shaman when he comes into the middle of the map, then you can swap to him off of that and spell seal him down, get him into a ring or something like that, and then shatter him and deep him off that. And if you can get that kind of perfect setup, you can just erase shaman sometimes. It'll be interesting though. Pally healing is extremely strong, and mana does not seem to be an issue for them. So, if Banana Split can kind of stay out of CC, he may be able to heal through this for quite some time.
I think so as well. It's going to be up to Bluksta, get those full fears in him, as everyone Warlock loves to do in the tournaments. They seem to love screaming those full fears. So Bluksta does it get against Gate, no problem. There's no really chance for this, this mage or this priest to stop him unless the mage really wants to mount up and blink in. But he's choosing instead to go invis and just, kind of push over to their pillar. He's running around, maybe looking to get a full sheep on the shaman in the opener, not too sure yet. But I think the god comp wants to get a lot of pressure going early. So there's a full sheep on Hexer, out of invis. Really good job by him, killing off the healing stream, but actually ends up trinketing that fear, gets CS on Polymorph. So really good job by Bluksta, kind of noticing that this mage is really pushed it and needs to peel him in the opener. And then there's the deep freeze on Hexer, so it looks like that's going to be their target of choice. With the DP coming in, tons into the damage. We're going to definitely see a silence off of this. Actually, no silence yet. Good job lossing. And there's a rallying cry for into the disarm. Silence on Trile. Hopefully, they were trying to prevent the rally, but the rally is already up. Hexer in so much trouble, dipping down to 150,000 across the map. Healing Tide down, should be okay now. Using a lot of cooldowns to catch up there, but he didn't use his trinket, so good job in holding that. But a little bit of a questionable silence on Trile after the rallying cry was already forced.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just they probably just didn't realize that it had already gone out. And I mean, had they actually prevented that, I think they would have got killed. But Trilly now going to be popping all his cooldowns, playing Bladestorm here. You see Reckless, Skullbanner, Bladestorm, everything being popped here, doing a lot of damage. But, you know, Banana Split does just bop Shake Milk instantly on that, and they're going to be forced to swap over to Healing Stat, which has not been too effective just yet. At the same time, now here comes the swap over on a Banana Split. He's going to be popping that Divine Protection immediately. Shadow Fury does come out there from Bluksta, and Guardian is going to be forced onto Banana Split now. He's just taking a ton of pressure here. So he's already gone through Guardian, Div Favor, Wings, etc. He's you know, using these cooldowns pretty aggressively, and we do see the Hodge onto Trilly. They have the Sheep and the Fear onto Hexer. They're going to set up off of that, and Hexer forced to Trinket immediately and gates right out of there. Still takes, you know, 150k damage or so, but that Trinket is now down, and he doesn't have, you know, he doesn't have that available, and there's always the potential to get 100 to 0'd in a Deep Freeze Silence.
Yeah, for sure. Another thing that godcomp's been doing is every single time that the Shaman's been gaining away and using cooldowns, they've just been instantly switching onto that lock pet, which I really like. He's using that observer, so he's not using sack pet, so it's really susceptible for that's comp like this that has tons and tons of bursts like on demand. That to just kill over and over again. It's forcing Bluksta, you know, to peel back, not be able to get all the spread dots, pressure that he wants, and just have to summon that pet over and over behind the pillar. So really good job by this godcomp. And Chili, you know, just playing aggressive in the middle of the map, trying to get as much pressure as he can onto Shake Book. I'm really surprised he's playing that Bladestorm Stormbolt. You usually see Bladestorm with Bloodbath or some kind of combination of that, but I guess he feels like the stun and the damage when he can't be like rooted or peeled is really needed for this comp. So we do see the Stormbolt going to Banana Split. Banana Split just seems to be so comfortable, you know, rotating through his cooldowns in every game. You know, he has so many cooldowns because he's running that extra cooldown Holy Pally talent that's like a 2-minute cooldown. So he just, you know, rotates that with his Guardian and with his Wings and stuff, and it just seems to be fine, you know, feeling through a lot of pressure. But there's the Deep, there's the Orb, MCS onto Bluksta, no fears. He's going to unwound well that MCS, try to peel them off of his Shaman, but so much trouble. This one coming out of that, maybe a silence. There's a full silence, 5-second silence, no else for this, just a battle mouth of Hellstone. I think he'll be just fine with that. And yeah, peeling around the pillar, but Healing Stat on the other side going down so low. There's a disperse forced out. So lots of pressure coming out from both teams. Healing Stat forcing that disperse. Still really low. Might just die out of it. 80k health behind the pillar. Can just probably get to him, top some heals, and I think there it is. There's a bubble from the Pally. So nothing left for this Paladin, nothing left for this God comp. But at the same time, Hexer Trinket is not back up yet, so they're not out of the woods either.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be up pretty soon, though, and honestly, you know, he's probably just going to play back behind the pillar for the next 10-15 seconds until he does have that Trinket, and then he should be fine. But, you know, with that Nature's Guardian Battlemaster Hellstone, his HP goes up so much even while he's in that silence, and Healing Stat's trying to get in there for a fear, but I don't know about this. He's trying to kite it out there now, taking a lot of damage. The MCS comes out onto Banana Split, full Sheep onto Hexer. Will they try to set up off this? It looks like they may want to, but Healing Stat's just taking too much damage, and there's a full fear onto Banana Split, and I think this is going to be it here for game one. Banana Split does get out of the fear, though. Will he be able to keep him alive? Maybe just barely here. Just sitting still at around 100,000. Went down to 40k there. Divine Favor Wings do come out down from Banana Split. Trilly had that Bladestorm up and almost was able to take down Healing Stat, and is now looking to swap over on a Banana Split. Will get peeled off by that Zac Beam, though, and just goes right back onto Healing Stat here. The Intimidating Shout comes out onto Banana Split, and it looks like it is actually going to be a full fear as well. Do they have a stun off that? We will find out. It doesn't look like it. And the DR Halitair does come in. It hits 3, though. Nicely played there by Bluksta. But tit for tat, we do have Healing Stat now catching everyone with his Psychic Scream. Unfortunately, the Tremor available for Hexer, so going to be able to get his whole team out of that right away.
Yeah, for sure. So they're definitely the next thing for the God comp we're looking for is the next full fear on the Shaman, but it's going to be hard for them to even get that, considering how defensive they're going to have to play right now. There's Guardian of Ancient Kings coming with this Holy Pie, feeling like to heal them so much. Like, this God comp had such a good opener, but now they're just in so much trouble. They're being forced back by this WS so much. The pressure is just insane from Trilly and Bluksta. They're just doing so much damage. It's not even CCs so much. I mean, they're getting full fears once in a while, but they're just doing so much consistent pressure to this team that they're just falling behind, like in the little CCs like Stormbolt and MCSs. A thing that I'd like to see the God comp do to kind of push them off is just go for that pet again. And there's a full fear on Hexer. This is what I was talking about. No Trinket on that. We're going to have to see what they're able to do. But Banana Split just being pumped into fears. He does Trinket into another half fear. Healing Stat might just go down here, down to 100k health, dipping so low. There's a last year fear, but out of CC now. Hexer dipping low on the other side. Using not to Trinket, dipping down to 60,000. There's the full silence coming in. Trinkets that right away, up to 200k health. Using that Battlemath of Hellstone again. We're going to have to see Bluksta make some more Hellstone soon because that should be running out soon for him. But this, on the other side, they're switching over to Banana Split and just so much pressure coming out. The MCS coming off that. Trilly on his back. Popping that, I think Demoralizing Banner or something. And there's the grip from the Shadow Priest onto Banana Split. Great job by him recognizing this Pally is in trouble and needs to get out of that situation right away.
Yeah, he definitely did, man. It was a really nice life grip. And we do see that Dime by the Sword going to be popped by Trilly, taking a little bit of damage there. Wants to be careful. Hexer going to be popping the Spirit Walker's Grace, trying to avoid those silences and the MCS. And the Shadow Fury comes out on a Shake Melt. He's going to blink it right into a fear, though. So nicely played by Bluksta. Healing Stat, you know, taking some damage, but Banana Split has recovered. He's done a good job of it. And, you know, Hexer without a Trinket, they could potentially look to set something up right here. They did just kill off the pet there from Bluksta. You mentioned that, and it looks like this WLS is looking to pull back here behind the pillar right now, and looking to try to just recover a little bit. We do have the icicles getting stacked up, and they're going to be looking for the swap on a Hexer very shortly. With 4 icicles already available here from Shake Milk, now the CS has been used from Bluksta. You can't really ask for much more than that, but it's just a question of if they can actually get to the Shaman, because they're playing extremely defensively, and he's just kind of hiding back behind the pillar here. They desperately do want to get over onto him, but will they ever actually be able to connect? And we're seeing it's taking so long for Shake Milk to actually be able to get there that he's now taking tons of damage, and will have to pull back. Going to swap it up to Molten Armor, and his icicles are even all starting to expire at this point because they just took way too long to get that swap. He's down to 1 icicle now. They've all expired.
Yeah, for sure. They definitely feel like they can't push in right now because it probably doesn't have a trinket to play super defensive. But that is an offensive ice block, or either that or it was instantly shattered. But I think he just took it off right away. And there comes the Palm Sheep into the deep. So that's the setup. The Palm Sheep on the Shaman to the deep. Trilly Bottom instantly intervening for that damage reduction. MCS on the Bluksta, not wanting any fears to come out. Tons of CC coming out. There's a full silence. This is the trouble. This is the potential kill. But there's a rallying cry coming out from Chile, recognizing that this is the time his Shaman's going to be in trouble because his trinket is coming back up. So great job by them. Just peeling effectively. Bluksta uses trinket. This WS team is just playing really, really well. When their Shaman doesn't have trinket, they're making sure that both their DPS have cooldowns for him, making sure he can survive. And there's a full fear coming on Banana Split. It does break now. There's a half fear. No trinket available for him. I do believe that Shake Milk does have 1 block left available. It's dipping now so low down 70k, and there it is. There's the ice block forced out. Healing stat on this side, dipping already to half health. Banana Split just having such a hard time having to pop Guardian Invasion Kings, in fact, to pick his team back up, and I don't think he has any breaks left. There's the Hex going on in healing stat reference. There's the decrease coming off of it, so they're being topped with this Guardian Invasion Kings, but I just feel like this WS pressure is so high every time they get a fear. And there's another full fear, and Shake Milk might just be going down here. So much damage to him, onto him. He's dipping down to half health. No more outs for Banana Split, but we don't see anything follow up. There's the Stormbolt, but I think he'll be okay. There's the Bob forced out, and Bulkstack on the other side being forced back, popping the regen. MCS full sheep on Hexer, and I think they'll be okay. Bluksta, just popping his regen, pulling back, kind of just trying to get into a more defensive position.
It's interesting to me that Bluksta decides not to play with the Hellstone Glyph as well. That's not a choice very many Warlocks would make. And he is sitting very low on HP still. Hexer has kind of been struggling to get over to him and heal him back up. And Bluksta's been sitting very low for some time, and now he's finally able to kind of life tap. But look at him, he's still down at 200k HP, and he's out in the middle of the map. And Hexer, he's across the map from him, so kind of some poor positioning there. And it's going to force out the healing tide. Now the orb is going to come out onto Bluksta. Do they have any more CC for Hexer? Doesn't look like it. Bluksta should be okay, but playing super aggressive there at 200k HP for quite some time. And they are going to force out that healing tide, so that is something that this Shatter play has forced out now, and we'll see if they're going to be able to get anything from that. Shake Milk gets healed right back up there by Banana Split, and Banana Split now has some work to do onto Healing Stat, who is taking quite a bit of damage as well. And Healing Stat down to half HP, Shake Milk down to half HP as well. And Bluksta and Trilly really doing a good job keeping the pressure up non-stop throughout this entire game. Stormlash was dropped there. Bluksta's been spreading these dots out so well, and it may be too much as the Fear comes in onto Banana Split. Does break there. The Howl of Terror goes out onto Healing Stat. Banana Split is going to be MCS now by Bluksta. He does fake that CS, I do believe. No, perhaps he did get locked. Yeah, he did get locked there, but Shake Milk is going to go down surely. He does fall. The pressure is too much, and really well played game 1 there by the WLS.
Definitely really well played by them. Recognizing what this comp, the godcomp team has to do against them to get the win. I mean, they have to kill the Shaman, and if they just save enough cooldowns, they rotate through them every orb. I think they know that they'll end up being okay, and just keeping that pressure, keeping that warrior warlock pressure on them. Just getting full fears on the pally over and over again, and just forcing up the cooldowns slowly. And they were able to take the win there. So great job by them, playing really solid in the first game. I didn't really see any mistakes coming out of Chile's team.
Yeah, no, they did really well. The only time I was kind of nervous for them was that one, the time that Bluksta was kind of staying super far in at no HP and no mana. I was kind of scared that he might get bursted down. But that one really good kill opportunity they had, that Palm Sheep into the deep freeze onto Hexer. He was instantly intervened, as you said, or it's safeguarded, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like 15% damage reduction if I remember correctly. And then they also you threw out Intimidating Shout during that, a blanket CS, Rallying Cry came out, Hellstone and Battlemaster, and he still almost died. So it's like, that tells you the amount of damage that they did. He had over 800,000 HP, they almost killed him through that, plus 15% damage reduction, plus the peels that they had. So in reality, they put out well over 1 million damage, literally over 1 million damage during the Deep Freeze to Silence combo. So that just shows the burst potential that Shatterplay has, and had they not had the, like, if any one of those things didn't come out, their shaman would have died. If they didn't get the intervene for the damage reduction right away, he would have died. If they didn't get the rally, he would have died. If they didn't get the intimidating shout and other PLC, he would have died. So that was really, really well played by Trilly, and I think he kind of saved that game at that point.
Yeah, I think so too. And Bluksta did another, trinketing a CC to get those fears off. They just saved their cooldowns until they know the shaman was in trouble. We had no trinket. He was probably calling it out, and just a great job by them reacting accordingly to the burst of this godcomp, as every team has to do. Whenever you play against godcomp, as any comp, you have to save your cooldowns. You can't just waste them because you're gonna die if you waste them. They have so much, turnaround potential. All of a sudden, like you feel like you're so far ahead, and then all of a sudden, if you're caught without a trinket, you can just die randomly. So good job by them, playing really well in that game. I'm kind of curious to see what map they're gonna feel like pulling out here. I feel like Tolveron, okay, that's an interesting map choice. I feel like it's good for them defensively, but I feel like on the other hand, they're also gonna have a really hard time killing that shaman on such a big map. Like being able to push in on the shaman is gonna be very difficult for them.
Yeah, but they may want to go onto Bluksta. I mean, they saw that they were able to get him very low. They did kill off his pets a bunch of times, so maybe they can capitalize on that. If Bluksta doesn't position himself well, this is a map that you get very spread out on, and
yeah, for sure.
Blukstack, I've played against him a lot in tournaments. He's very good. He's very, puts out a ton of damage, but I think his weakness is kind of his susceptibility to kind of get in those bad positions and get killed. That's, if he has a weakness, that's it. And in the tournaments that my team has beat him and stuff, it's usually him that we're able to kill. Because I think sometimes he has the potential, when he's playing a team that can be so aggressive and they get the pressure rolling, his eyes maybe get a bit too big sometimes. He goes in too far and stuff. And, if they can capitalize on that, maybe they can turn it around and try to catch him in a bad spot and kill him off.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Definitely has done that before in the past. We'll have to see if he's going to do it this time. I also feel like another target definitely could be Trilly on this map if they're just, playing super defensive, playing super conservative and far back. But we'll have to see what their plans are on this map, hopefully we can see another great game. And this is actually for elimination for our for the God Comp, so they're going to have to do something here else they're out of the tournament. And Trilly's team will be the one moving on, so we do see Sheik Milk, just instantly starting with that Viz, kind of trying to creep up. Maybe we're going to see that full shape come out again, but it looks like they want to be the ones aggressors. I mean, if Sheik Milk's in the Viz kind of pushing up, it looks like they want to be the ones aggressing on the opener, and he's in that position to get that full polymorph, moving in. And there's actually the Pet Nova ring coming out, actually landing on Hexer, so really, really good job by him, getting that CC out right away. Bluksta is popping his Demon Soul, kind of trying to get that pressure out as well. Unbounds that full fear, and they're wanting to go hard on Hexer, there comes the Deep Freeze, there comes the Orb, there comes the huge pressure, maybe into a Silence, there's the Battle Master coming out of Hexer, just trying to counteract that, and they're not going to get too much more, not using any of their silences. Tons of fears coming up from Bluksta. Great job by him, just peeling them off. And there's a full fear on the Pally. So here comes the pressure, Demon Soul has been popped, the full fear on the Pally, the team of the God Comp is rotting.
Do you think they're going to go on the Bluksta now, though? Because he actually, after unbanning that fear, he trinketed a blanket CS. So, he has no trinket, and he just got locked out. He has no trinket, no unbound will, and he's now at 300k HP. Does get dispelled out of Deep Freeze. The only reason he was able to survive, if they got the blanket CS on Hexer in time, I think Bluksta actually would have just died there. Did get locked out, and now he has to use his health regen. His pet just died. He had his soul burn it. So if they kill off his pet, he's not going to have a pet for a minute or so. And this is actually kind of like what I was talking about. I mean, he's getting caught in a little bit of a bad spot, and if they can kill off his pet really quick, I think that would be a great position for the Shatter play. And it seems like the strategy is to go on Bluksta here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the Pally hasn't had to force any cooldowns yet, so that's really, really good by this God Comp. I'm actually really surprised that they're being the ones aggressing here. They feel like the ones that they need to push and they need to do the damage they need to kill. So there comes a full fair into Hexer. I do believe he just ends up Tremor turning that, and yes, he does. So really good job by him, just kind of like using his Tremors effectively. Maybe prep for Tremor. I'm not sure if he just went early in the game. I don't think so. I think that was just unbound and he was in CTC. And we do see, the pressure from this WS is kind of wearing off. They don't have any more Demon Souls for a while. We do see Hexer thrown into the Deep Freeze, maybe a Silence or Sheep coming off that. No, but Bluksta is definitely the target of choice. MCS coming on him, Ring of Frost going down. That will be a fake ring. It is interrupted. And Shake Mill on the other hand, dipping down. But Bluksta is scared. He just gated across the map. He just put his port down. He's scared for a while. He doesn't have any cooldowns. His trinket isn't back up for 20 more seconds. He does have unbound will, but they're just instantly noticing that as soon as he gets across, the other two members are a great target for them. The Hodge coming on Hexer out of that silence. Damage coming on him is not too serious, no devouring plague or anything, but dipping down really, really low, like scary low. And there's comes, oh my goodness, MCS doing so low, oh, he just dies.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, the damage comes in. I mean, he was in a Hodge, it didn't really look like anything was coming, but then during that MCS, it just looked like he took like 200k damage with Rally Cry and just fell over.
They really underestimated. I think the Rallying Cry came out a little bit late, and I mean, Hexer not trinketing there. The silence wasn't up, and I think it was just one of those cases where they're like, oh, they don't have silence, et cetera, we're going to be okay. And then when they realized how much damage was coming out, it was just kind of a little bit of a late reaction there from the WLS, and very well played by this Shatter play. And, Bluksta, he was having to play scared, and I think it was the right choice, playing defensively like that after the start that they had. But I kind of talked about it. Sometimes he gets a little bit overzealous and stuff, and I think trinketing the MCS at the start of the game was kind of an example of that. It put them kind of a bit behind, and even just the fact they didn't have any cooldowns meant that he couldn't really stay aggressive. He was having constantly gateway away. He was just having to LOS them instead of being able to put out that pressure because he just wasn't safe without those cooldowns. And they got a bit behind, and a bit of a mistake there. Hexer not trinketing and just not realizing the damage that could come in from the shatter play. And we've talked about it a lot throughout the tournament, just how much burst that they can put out. In that deep freeze in the previous game, like we said, they put out about 1 million damage, like literally 1 million damage, not exaggerating. And here it goes once again, man. Hexer just gets kind of erased without even the sounds coming out, without any major cooldowns from the shatter play. They just blow him up.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and Hexer gated. I mean, the Warlock Bluksta, he gated across the map away from Hexer, and Hexer just decided to walk back. I mean, in the middle of the map, which I don't think was the correct choice. I feel like if one person gates against a team that has a lot of burst and can switch on a whim, you don't need any setup to switch. I mean, just like a deep freeze, just 1 30-second stun. I mean, you can blow someone up. I feel like everyone needs to be gating away. Everyone needs to be in a more defensive position. You can't just be on your own versus a comp like godcomp, because if they're able to get a 3v1 situation without even needing to CC, I mean, they're in a great spot. They're going to be doing so much pressure. So just a couple of mistakes thrown out there by the WLS, and I mean, great job by the godcomp being able to capitalize on that. Getting the kill there.
Yeah, and we did talk about it. Those mistakes happen. It does happen. It happens to everyone. And
yeah.
The amount of burst that they can put out is crazy, and at the same time, it's kind of difficult situation because it's like if you trinket something and not that much damage comes out, then you kind of feel stupid because then when they have their cooldowns up and you don't have trinket, you're probably just dead instantly. So it's tough. It's tough to know when exactly to use those cooldowns. It's like, but against comps with this much burst, you just have to make split-second decisions. You have to commit to it. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah, for sure.
You have to just be like, okay, I need it, and you have to do it instantly. When people hesitate is when the big mistakes really start to happen, because that's when cooldowns get overlapped, that's when nothing happens, or that's when you trinket too late and you die anyway, things like that, or you trinket and then the trinket's not enough anymore because you waited too late in the deep freeze, and then you have to NS, you have to healing tide, you have to do all this stuff. So no matter what decision you're going to make, you have to do it right away.
And I was really surprised he died there. I mean, he even popped Ascendance out of the Hodge when, there's a split second between the Hodge and the disarm between the kill, and I thought he was going to be fine. I'm like, oh, maybe he didn't even need to Ascendance there. I thought he'd be okay, and then he just randomly died in the disarm, from 50 to 0, super fast, so crazy damage, coming in. And definitely underestimating that burst as I was as well. So they're not actually looking for the gate right away. He's looking to actually get a cross-map gate, so I do agree with this. I mean, there's not really much that they're going to be able to do to stop that, so he does get the gate from box to box, but the ring does come in, landing on Hexer, and they're just looking to go on Bluksta again, I think. That's going to be their target of choice. It looks like they feel like doing, and there comes the fear out of the Ring of Frost, the MCS coming in Bluksta, the deep goes in on Hexer. Actually, maybe they're looking for Hexer right now. That deep freeze, tons of damage coming out. I mean, instantly dipping down, so low, there's a rally cry, there's a trinket, but he trinkets late, he trinkets it into the silence. This match made it, the link comes out as well. Truly, and Hexer just dying through the link, and Bluksta comes in, kind of trying to give his health pool as well, and that does pick them back up, but oh my goodness, the amount of damage, and still not out of the woods yet, dipping down, oh my god, down to 30k health. So much damage from this god coming in on a Hexer.
Yeah, I mean, they literally had everything to use there. Truly was actually just going so offensive at the same time. He popped Wreck, he popped everything, was going aggressive, and they needed to use Trinket, then they needed to use Link, Healing Tide, NS, Ascendance, Rallying Cry. Bluksta trinketed something to get over there and heal as well, so he has no healing, he has no Unbound Will, he has nothing, no one has anything. There's a deep freeze onto Hexer, the ring onto Bluksta. What setup are they looking for here? Really nothing came out with that, so it was shut down. Just too much pressure coming out on Shake Milk and Healing Stat right now, but just the amount of damage they put out was just insane. And Shake Milk is getting healed back up now. The CS comes out onto Bluksta there. If Banana Split can catch up, I think they're in a pretty good spot, but the Blade Storm coming out once more here from Trille, trying to get that pressure rolling onto Healing Stat, but Shake Milk has still not yet been topped off. So they do have the Sheep over onto Bluksta. What are they looking for here? Perhaps they're going to go hard onto Bluksta. Now looking for the polymorph. They get the full poly onto Hexer. There's the deep freeze onto Bluksta, who has no trinket, as I did talk about, and they're looking to get the burst kill onto him. He has no heals as well. MCS comes out on him. The Hodge Silence comes out onto Hexer. I think Bluksta may go down here. The Intervene comes out. They did overlap completely on that Hodge Silence, but it doesn't matter. Bluksta goes down, and 2 games in a row for 1-2-3 Stormbolt, slapping down the WLS. They're going to be moving on, and pretty surprising turn of events.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the first game just looks so solid from this, the Hexer's team and Trille's team. I mean, they look so good, and all of a sudden, their composure, I'm not sure if it fell off or something, but he trinketed the end of the deep freeze, like, you're talking about, like, that hesitation, he trinkets the end of the deep freeze into a full silence, but he doesn't end up getting the link off. But I mean, Trilly and him just died. Like, they killed both of them in that silence. It was insane. Like, through Rallying Cry, through everything. It was, like, the amount of damage that came out in the opener from this God comp was absolutely wild. Bluksta did end up getting in at the end, but I mean, he had to use his trinket. He had to use everything to get into that link, and they just capitalized on that, with the poly into Hodge on Hexer, and just ended up killing him. I mean, even with the overlap on the silence on Hodge, it didn't matter. It was enough CC, just to secure that kill onto Bluksta.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like, I think Bluksta didn't have a port down, so he couldn't actually port to get into the link. I think that was part of the problem, because right at the start, he got caught by the ring that Hexer did. It was a really nice palm ring to start off the game that caught them both, and Bluksta just unbound it right away. So I don't actually think he had a port down, and then I'm not sure what he trinketed, but I'm not sure if he trinketed a Hodge or a Nova or what he trinketed, but he had to trinket something to get over into that Spirit Link and use his healing cooldowns. So, he just didn't have anything left. He used his healing cooldowns to try to pick up his team, and we talked about the hesitation that can cost you guys, and that was rough, man. Just insane damage came out from the start, and they just couldn't recover. Even with that full Hodge and Silence overlap at the end, there was a fear rate after it, and Bluksta went down.
Yeah, for sure, tons of damage. It's actually crazy. So I was just surprised I just killed them both in the opener, like, completely. If Rallying Cry didn't come out, they both would have died in the link. That means they took up both health pools, which is well over 1 million damage, as you said.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, they were both down to like 100k in that first little attack. Trilly was going full aggressive. He had his Bladestorm, his Recklessness, his Skullbender, everything out, and he was actually sitting in the orb that was killing his Shaman at the start, and they both just got insanely low. Just literally everything came out at the start. It was every single Shaman cooldown in the game. Healing Tide, Link, Trinket, NS, Ascendance, Spirarker's Grace, he's everything. So pretty rough. And they're going to be eliminated, unfortunately. Definitely one of the favorites for the tournaments, and one of probably the big fan favorites. Definitely the most known team. But that's going to be it for their tournament, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And guys, in the meantime, we're waiting for this next matchup to be arranged. I don't think one of the players is not here just yet or something, or I don't know. But anyway, we're going to be getting that going as soon as we can. But in the meantime, you can head on over to ProGameX.com. ProGameX is a newly created gaming community. It's a powerful platform to show your skills and be rewarded. Directly connect to top players, follow them, talk to them, play with the professionals, as well as get coaching. You can stay up to date on the most important events of the community, such as show matches, tournaments, and interactive streams. You can build your teams and participate in tournaments. It's already there for WoW, and they're going to be developing it for League of Legends and Dota 2 as well. So if you're interested in that, definitely head on over to ProGameX.com. And I also know that they're doing a giveaway where you can play with some pro gamers and things like that for next weekend. It's going to be streamed. So if you want to be eligible for that, you have to go register. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Everyone should definitely go check that out. Great website for, PvPers to come in and, try to improve on their gameplay, get to the top. Takes a while. I know it took me a couple years, to practice up enough, to even get Gladiator. So it's definitely a struggle, but sites like this can definitely help you out and help you improve your gameplay quite a bit.
The struggle is real, dude.
The struggle was real.
Yeah.
I was, took me from 12 years old to 16, so it took a while.
I mean, you're a little kid, so
yeah,
that's like makes sense, but that's pretty funny. Yeah, so I'm just trying to find out what the next matchup is going to be. I think it's actually Blue Laginia, or if you say it like that, versus Team Tesoro. I think it's the other first round lower bracket match that's going to be played. So that would be the Moonkin team versus the Feral LSD. The Feral LSD actually played really well. They did lose 2-0 to Trilly and Bluksta and them, who were able to take that series. But that was actually a really close series. That was actually very, very well played from both sides. And the Moonkin team did put out some pretty insane damage at times, but going up against that Monk TSG, I don't think they had much of a chance. So
I don't think so either. I don't think any of these Shaman Warlock teams have much of a good shot against this Monk TSG team, although I'm going to be surprised. I definitely have to favor the Feral comp in this matchup. I feel like having a melee against a double caster of a similar version is just a little bit stronger in a situation where it's a bunch of spread pressure, because I feel like with a hybrid healing like Feral Druid and a Resto Shaman and a Warlock and stuff, it's going to be very hard for this team to end up rotting the Feral Druid team. And I feel like the Feral Druid team, we saw how much pressure they were able to put on a Resto Shaman in the WLS game, so I feel like that same pressure is going to be there this game as well. And just with that, I feel like if I was going into this matchup, I would feel fairly confident as the FLS team.
Yeah, I think they definitely have a good shot. At the same time, if the LSD2 starts to get rolling, the amount of spread pressure they can put out is pretty crazy. So
Yeah, definitely with full gear, dots are no, joke. They're scary.
yeah, they're
People
definitely
die
dangerous.
really fast.
Okay. So there is a team. One of the healers is missing. So Looney is missing from Blue Guinea. So I think we're just going to wait a little bit, and if he doesn't show up, then we may just be moving on to the next match, and they will probably be knocked out. But hopefully that doesn't happen. No one really wants to do that.
Yeah, everyone wants to see the games. No one wants a free win. I mean, I'm sure the FLS doesn't mind, the free win, but none of the viewers and stuff and tournament lovers want to see a free win come out of any team. So
Okay, so I think we're actually going to go to the winner semifinals and give that guy some more time.
okay,
So winner semifinals would be, I believe, Procking. That's the DK Shaman Druid versus who was the other team that's still in the top?
the Monk
It's
TSG.
the Monk TSG. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
And that should be interesting
feel like
because
this
who
is
does the
gonna
Monk
be a
TSG
hard
really
matchup.
go on?
Yeah, that is the question. Who do they go on? I mean, I'm sure they
Druid,
fought
I
this
guess?
matchup before. I guess the Druid, but I mean IBF and with Displacer Beast and just the utility Druid has when they do get trained by any comp. It's not even like swap, but being trained. I feel like it's just so good. So we're gonna have to see what this Monkey TSG does end up doing. I'm gonna be really curious to see their strategy going through this. I definitely don't think that they're gonna lose right away. I feel like it could be definitely a very like a long game. They will only really have hexes for the monk healer. That's really all the CC they have. I mean, hexes and clones, but if they tunnel the druid, they're going to be eliminating that clone variable pretty well. So we'll have to see, what both teams are going to come out doing. I have never seen this matchup before ever.
Yeah, neither have I. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly where it is. But anyway, oh wait, what do we have here? These brackets? No, it's not. I can show you guys the teams. I do have that up, but these are the teams that are in it. But I don't know that there's actually brackets. Yep. But anyway, guys, the info is being updated and everything as we do go. Check the brackets. It says. Is this the brackets? I'm not sure. It's not loading for me right now. But anyway, these are the teams that are participating, and it is going to be Axe and Cleave going up against Procking in the winners bracket semifinals. So it is going to be these two teams, and we're going to try to get that for you. I'm trying to just find out if these players are online and everything, and if they are, we can start to